Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Brian Cox.
And Eric Idle. What a
Eric
great way to start.
We have questions from our listeners for you. I haven't heard these, so I'm not going to apologise in advance because they're our listeners. I'm sure they'll be brilliant. Here is a question, and you'll hear the question. This is from Vanessa.
Good morning, Professor Brian Cox. If we think that the universe stops at a certain point, how do we know it's infinite? Or does it just stop and that's it? How do we know this?
It's a good question because we don't know how far it goes. Is it infinite? Is it like the surface of the Earth? It could be that on huge scales, like billions and billions, trillions of light years, it curves around. So you could say, well, is the surface of the Earth infinite? You could carry on going around the Earth forever because it's curved into a sphere. So we don't really know. We just know that little bit we can see of the universe is flat. Of the universe, not the Earth. The Earth is not flat, but the universe appears. So it could be that it's a bit curvy, but we see such a tiny bit of it that it looks really flat to us.
When you talk about the speed of light, is that our speed of light? Could there be another speed of light?
No, it's a really good question, and the answer is no. Okay. So the speed of light is what's called an invariant, which means it doesn't depend on your point of view at all. So it's always the same. However you measure it, you'll always measure it to be 300,000 kilometers a second, which is roughly what it is, 186,000 miles a second. And so it's part of the deep structure of the universe, the speed of light. And there's only one speed of light.
There you go. This is good,
isn't it?
It wasn't a silly question.
No, it's a good one.
Can
I ask a question?
Yes,
as well?
you can ask a question.
Brian, I wanted to ask you this the last time you were on as well. My mum has asked me to ask you this. So
look at the camera.
Sorry. So her great uncle, my great great uncle, wrote a science book called Science at the Crossroads, and he's called Herbert Dingle. Have you heard of him?
I think I have actually. I'm sure I know that.
Yeah, because he apparently, this is what Mum says, he apparently disagreed with Einstein's, some of Einstein's theories, and he was a bit of a controversial figure, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't right, but...
I think that's why he's controversial, because he wasn't right. Yeah.
Hello, Brian. Barry here. If you could go anywhere in the universe for a day trip, like you would normally to Margate or Southend, where would you go and why?
Great question.
I would go... into a black hole. I'd love to know what it's like. And there's one we've got a photograph of, just one that we have a photograph of, and it's in a galaxy called M87, which is 55 million light years away. And we have a photo of this thing in the center of the galaxy, and it's 6 billion times more massive than our sun. And our sun, you can fit 1 million Earths inside.
But what does that mean?
Yeah, that's incredible.
You got on a plane and flew around the sun. It'd take you 6 months to go round, right? And this thing is 6 billion times more massive than that. But you could go in and you could float around for 20 hours or so inside before you met the end of time. So you'd have a day to see how strange it is inside the black hole.
Right, let's do one more.
Will we be able to see the Beaver Moon eclipse or partial eclipse tonight in the UK?
Oh, I don't know.
He doesn't know! He doesn't know! This is unbelievable! He doesn't know!
The Chris Moyles Show.